Hello, it's Reija and welcome to another video. Well, I am once again doing a tag I was tagged in quite some time ago, probably a year or two ago, so yeah, that's gonna happen. This is the second Tome Around tag, which is all about secondhand books and buying and reading secondhand books. And this tag was originally created by Hungry Bookworm, and I was tagged by Justin from Triumphal Reads. So without further ado, let's get started so I can be one less tag behind on my video schedule. Do you buy secondhand books? I do indeed. I actually buy quite a lot of secondhand books. I frequently go to the local recycling center, and there's also a couple of different secondhand books near my place of work, and so I frequent them quite often. I also buy secondhand books online, for example, from Better World Books and Awesome Books, but I have to say that I haven't had as much of a chance to peruse the secondhand book market recently, because I have been trying to focus on reading my own physical TBR and getting books from the library instead of buying things secondhand or even new. I have tried to prioritize the library this year. What was your latest purchase? So my latest purchase was actually a couple months ago, probably the very early, we went January or the very beginning of February, we went to the recycling center and I got Mosaikkilintu and Tuuli Hevonen by Ulla Viertola. These are the first two books in a sort of fantasy trilogy that takes inspiration from ancient Greece and also ancient Egypt in terms of world building and such. I still haven't read these, but these were basically almost brand spanking new, and I'm always looking forward to reading more and finding out more Finnish fantasy. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be reading these eventually, but they are not the top of my priority right now. What condition do you find acceptable? For example, tatty or not tatty, etc. I personally don't mind the condition of the book. It isn't a deal breaker if the book looks used. It just needs to hold together. For example, if the pages are coming loose and the spine isn't holding together, then I'm not gonna buy it. The cost is also one that I take into consideration. For example, if the book is really cheap, I am willing to pay for it, even if it is a little bit worn. However, if you're trying to scalp me for 20 euros for a really old, grimy, moth-eaten copy of a book, then I'm obviously not gonna buy it. So the condition needs to be balanced with the cost of what the secondhand store is asking for it. For example, I have bought these two books, which were in super good condition for €2 each, and also I have bought a little bit tattered books for 50 cents or up to €3. So it doesn't really make a difference for me as long as I get to read the book. However, I will say that I have one deal breaker, and that is if the book smells like tobacco smoke. I will not buy it ever, because that makes me nauseous. So if the book has come from a smoker home, then I most likely will not buy it. That is also why I wish that when books are sold online as secondhand, that would be disclosed, because there are a variety of reasons why people wouldn't want a book that smells like tobacco. For example, if you have conditions that are triggered by scent response. So yeah, that's the thing. After you have read said book, do you keep it to reread it or redonate it? For me, that depends really if I like the book or not. If I really enjoyed the book, I will keep it to look up quotes, to reread, to just marvel that I've had this literary masterpiece bestowed upon me, that I can put it on my shelves. If I really love the book, then I will definitely keep it. Sometimes I will redonate books if I don't have like a specific attachment to them. I read it, I might have enjoyed it, but it was not like a new favorite, then I will redonate. I will also give used books to my friends sometimes if they are looking for something to read. So I am more willing to loan out books that are maybe slightly more worn than, for example, something like my limited edition books that are purely for like collecting and stuff. It is case by case basis, depending on how much I loved the book when I read it. Do you have a favorite place to go to when looking for secondhand books? Well, I already mentioned the two online stores, Better World Books and also Awesome Books. Better World Books I tend to like a little bit more just because they donate some proceeds to charity, and they're also like climate conscious, so I appreciate their messaging and the thought behind their brand. So I tend to go there more than Awesome Books, but Awesome Books is also very nice. And then there is this one secondhand store in Helsinki that I got actually introduced to by Maija from Maija Reads, and it is at the smack dab middle of Helsinki center, so it is very easily accessible whenever I visit the town, so that's where I usually go to when I have time to check for secondhand books. Hardback or paperback, do you have a preference? I don't really. It all comes down to basically the condition of the book. Obviously, if I can get a really nice deal on a hardback, I will buy it. For example, I got the entire Rainwild Chronicle Quartet by Robin Hobb in hardcover, practically almost in mint condition, for it was 18 euros for the entire hardcover 4-book set. And I just jumped on the chance to get those because they were beautiful, and I generally collect my Robin Hobbs in these UK trade paperback editions. So it doesn't match the rest of my Robin Hobb sets, but I don't care. I just couldn't pass up the chance because they had literally just been brought to the secondhand store I was at, and they had just been cataloged through the system and put price tags on them, and I just happened to be there when they did that, and I was like, yoink, I will get those, thank you. But I've also bought plenty of paperbacks, so I don't really mind the format as much as the actual content. Have you found any real gems? Oh, I have actually found plenty. First of all, I have shown you this in a few other videos, but this is Välskärin kertomuksia by Sakari Topelius. This is basically about... first of all, Sakari Topelius wrote in Swedish, so this is translated into Finnish by Juhani Aho, and Juhani Aho was a very prolific Finnish author as well in his own right, and this was published. This edition was published in 1929, I want to say. I think it was 1929. This is the 5th edition. Yeah, 1929. And this Välskärin kertomuksia is basically all these fairy tales and stories that Sakari Topelius wrote in the 19th century during the period where there was this push to build up a sort of Finnish national identity. As you may know, Finland had long been colonized by Sweden and then Russia, and there was a a sort of sentiment during the rule of Nikolai II, and also during the rule of his predecessor, when there was a lot of sentiment towards gaining independence. So the first set of stories by Sakari Topelius was kind of geared towards that mindset when they were originally published in the 19th century. So basically my mom told me a lot of these stories when I was a kid, so it has a sense of like nostalgia to me. And this edition is just gorgeous, and would you believe it, I paid just €1 for this. And also there was like there were like these brochures and cards, like from like when this book was first purchased, and there was also a postcard by the previous owner that was sent in 1941, just like during the Second World War. So it has like all this little like memorabilia inside it that I really love. So yeah, that's one gem that I have found. And the other one is this like paperback copy that is pretty tattered but still in quite good condition, by The Dispossessed by Ursula K. Le Guin. And what I like about this one is that the person who has owned it at some point has learned English with this book. There are a lot of like words that have been underlined, and Finnish translations of those words have been like written into the margins. So someone who has bought this and read it before me has learned English through this book, which I just feel like it gives this book a character. It has a history, and it like has had a special place for someone's learning. So I just find these kinds of stories to be really valuable when talking about secondhand books as well. The kind of shared history that readers have with these books. And there you have it. This has been the second Tome Around tag. Thank you, Justin, for tagging me, and apologies that it took me so long to get to this. But to be fair, we had a whole ass pandemic in between, so you know, that was a thing. And I hope you liked this video. If you did, tell me in the comments, do you buy secondhand books? What are some of your answers to these questions? And leave me a clock emoji down in the comments so that I know that you are here, because clock represents time. These books have had a second chance and they're timeless and whatever. Just give me a clock emoji in the comments so that I know that you are here. And I will see you in another video very soon. Bye bye!